I think even before the marketing, we have an issue there. I remember in 2004, I was working abroad, and I was the first person to import from abroad the first container of coffee from KPCU. When KPCU was KPCU, that was in the year 2004, when Ruth Moniki was the CEO. And we've seen what has happened to KPCU over the years. By the way, and I'm looking forward to the discussion on tea in 2 weeks' time, as His Excellency has said. You know, in tea, despite the many problems, still, some, as we say where I come from, men still go to the bar to have a beer and they sing goats, at least once a month. Because KTDA still provides that framework, which it may not work very well, but at least it's there. But if you look at exactly what happened in coffee with the collapse of KPCU, it shows that let us keep our institutions, even if they are not working very well, they can be improved over time. Because now this free for all that has come is not good for anyone. And we have been having two cartels, two layers of cartels. I have encountered both of them. The cartel at the higher level, you know, those Muzungus, the importers, the big companies. In 2013, before I went to Parliament, I was a very good friend of, as CSR said, of the late Delito Gachagua. And I was actually his consultant when we were trying to fight with the cartels and the frustration that he got. And by the way, because of Delito Gachagua, this is a battle that personally I must win. Because we started and we tried and we saw the frustration. And they will come. I remember that time. And Honorable Duiga is here. Senator Duiga is here. Senator Duiga, if you remember, when Delito Gachagua started, and yourself also, the German former Chancellor, Schroeder, had to come in and see President Kibaki, just to ensure that we don't continue with the effort that we have made to liberate our people from this. Now later, we have opened this discussion on our cooperatives, which is the second layer of cartels. There is no worse cartels in this sector than the cooperatives. And I want to challenge everyone. If we have to make a change, let us first of all put our money where our mouth is. Let us bite the bullet. Can we change the law to a such a way whereby the governor of a coffee county and the member of parliament from that area are automatic members of every coffee cooperative? So that we can have people who are accountable. So that we can have people who can be asked questions by Mwananchi. And I'm saying this because when I became a member of parliament, I said, now I'm going to fix coffee. It's my chance. So I called my cooperatives. And one guy, he was a chair of Kiambu cooperatives and also from my area. He told me, kukula lazima tukule. Kwa sababu sisi sio yai. Yai ndio tu haina mdomo. Haiwezi kukula. Kwa hivyo kukula lazima tukule. And I was very frustrated. But unfortunately, I couldn't do anything. Because what do you tell a cooperative? You are a member of parliament. A cooperative is devolved. The governor has no say in that particular cooperative. The member of parliament has got no role in that cooperative. So, in this, because His Excellency has said we have to bite the bullet now, let us bite the bullet by showing those people who think that they own the farmer, that even a member of parliament and a governor, they also own the same farmer. So, by having them in these cooperatives, so that they can be able to answer the question on behalf of the people that they represent. Otherwise, it can be very frustrating. Now, as I move on now to the next issue, which is the price. The only way to fix this price is nothing but value addition. And this is value addition in two ways. If you go to Starbucks, and I travel quite a lot, a 225-gram sachet of what they call Kenya AA, the best coffee, it goes for somewhere in the region of $22. Now do some mathematics. It means that a kilo of that Starbucks coffee is somewhere in the region of $100. Or by the current exchange rate, 14,000 shillings. Even if you use a factor of 10 to go back from that sachet to the cherry, you'll find out that there's no reason, and I believe there's no reason why a kilo of coffee cannot charge minimum 1,000 shillings. Na hata ikipungua sana, I believe if we do the right thing, we can be able to give 500 shillings to the farmer. I believe it's possible. And I believe it's doable. That time, when I was in Parliament, I started to try to move a bill to say, let us not export our coffee raw. And I was fought a lot. You remember, there was a big debate for almost 6 months. And you know, people want to fight you. They come up with all sorts of excuses. Unajua, kahawa yetu inaharibika. You know, there's a shelf life. All sorts of, the same way they were frustrating Derito Kashagwa with all sorts of silly arguments. It's the same thing they brought. Oh, you know, the shelf life cannot go, it will go bad. You know, you have to make the coffee close to the consumer. Those are what I call, sorry for this, and I'm not racist, Muzungu arguments. And that's why I am focusing on emerging markets. An emerging market is not going to give me those kind of an argument. It's not, if I go to India, if I go to China, if I go to the Middle East, if I go to Indonesia, if I go to the largest market that we have, which is the rest of Africa, they're not going to start telling me kwamba kahawa itaharibika. So one, we focus on value addition and we focus on new markets. The Vice President of Colombia was here the other day, and we had a meeting with the Deputy President. And one thing that came clear is the number of variants or derivative products that can be able to be gotten out of coffee. Yetu, Magonia, Green, the way we have done it since independence is the way we are doing it. Now, with the county aggregation and industrial parks, which I'm very passionate about, we can be able to create one, value addition in the county, and we will do it. Two, a county brand. So, Governor Kawira Mwangaza, because your tender is closing today, and because I believe we can start operating this KIPE in 6 months' time, let us also start working on Meru coffee, a distinct brand of coffee, which even somebody in America or wherever they are, they will know that this is Meru coffee. And not just coffee. Let us have Meru chocolate and all those other variants of products that you can be able to get. So these county aggregation and industrial parks are very important because, one, the government itself, we are replacing one broker to at least a broker with some conscience, which is the government. Yeah? Because Kawira Mwangaza and myself will be asked questions by the people of Meru. Yeah, so other than just depending on brokers and those middlemen, we can be able to do something as ourselves. And I'm very, very positive that within the next 1 year, using these county aggregation and industrial parks, we are going to bend the curve on coffee, on other products, on productivity, and actually, within the next 1 year, Mwananchi will be smiling. We'll be able to put real money in people's pockets. And for the international marketing, we are opening warehouses in DRC, in Dubai, in those other countries, so that even somebody from Kariene down here can be able to export coffee to South Korea, even if they don't have a passport. Because right now, why we have a problem, only the big shots, only the big people can be able to participate in this market. But using aggregation, which Honorable Cherugoi has talked about, using the county industrial parks, using our export warehouses, we can be able to place coffee in South Korea, and that money will be able to reach somebody in Kariene, even if they don't have a passport. Deploying also e-commerce, which is something else we are working on, our commodity exchange, and CS Cherugui, I want to challenge you, let us support the commodity exchange. Let us actually ensure it is funded, so that Mwananchi can have an option. You want to go to Nairobi Coffee Exchange? Go. You want to go to the commodity exchange? Go. So that we have some sort of competition and we are able to give value to the farmer. We have now just signed an agreement with CNN for the next 1 year, and using this partnership with CNN, for the first time, you'll be able to see Kenya coffee on CNN starting from next week, so that we are able to reach everybody. So we create that cool effect on our coffee through international marketing. But ultimately, as I conclude, I can't do that alone as a ministry. Linturi cannot do that alone, and Cherugui cannot do that alone. When we went to Nanyuki in January, we established what we are calling the value chain approach. This value chain approach is whereby we all work together. We don't operate in silos. We don't say, I am agriculture. That's why you found me and Linturi are going out together. Next time, Linturi and Cherugui will go and attack something else together. They were here in Meru. Me and Cherugui will go and do something together. So, Your Excellency, I also want to request you to help us to strengthen this value chain approach, because it needs some coordination at your level, at the level of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, because we need to align. You need to help us to have this working together. Our budget now this year, the 2023-2024, for the first time, we have used this value chain approach, whereby we are saying it doesn't matter. I have heard reports that we have got 260 billion within the value chain. Personally, it is not in my ministry, but it doesn't matter. If my brother Linturi has it, and he produces, mimi itangangana huko, and I will create the market. But the most important thing is to have a coordinated approach, because as the Deputy President has said, we must be that generation that is going to fix this issue for once and for all. And because najua kuna watu wengine wanafikiria kwamba we are not going to perform. That's why I'm saying the only auditor who is going to audit our performance is a mwananchi at the ballot. So we be given time. If we don't perform, mwananchi atatupiga kiboko. But I'm sorry, in these plans, my only institution I can report to is, other than my president, my deputy president, is parliament, who just got an oversight role, and the voter at the end of our term. So I'm saying this because nimesikia watu wengine wakisema ati sijui finance bill does not pass, wataandamana. Where andamana after 5 years, tuende kwa mwananchi after that. Because mwananchi is not stupid. They can see what we are doing. We need to be given time. We put all these plans into place, so that by 5 years to 4 years from now, because 1 year is almost gone, then we'll be asked a question. When you guys took over government, the farmer in Meru was getting 40 shillings. How much was a farmer getting by 2027? And I'm not saying that it's going to wait until 2027, but I think that we need sufficient space to put all these plans together. Wengine ambao walikuwa kwa hii serikali, ukiwauliza kahawa inatoka wapi, wanakuambia inatoka pale kwa nini, kwa kitchen pale. They don't know about the trees and all that kind of thing. So please, let them give us time now. We put all these efforts together. We work together so that at the end of the day, we can be held accountable by our people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to Honorable Cabinet Secretary. It's now 11:48. We've overshot by about 3 minutes, but it's an exciting conversation, and I want us to follow through with our other panelists, and then we'll try and wind up as quickly as we can. Thank you, Honorable Cabinet Secretary. Governance is keeps on coming up. Excellency Deputy President, that issue of governance, wherever we talk about production, it's coming up. Whenever we talk about cooperatives, it's coming up. Whenever we are talking about the marketing, it's coming up. And therefore, that is something which I think it is loud and clear we have to fix, take the hard decisions so that we are able to then move forward. Moving on, we have a representative director for international economics at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Fred Matwanga. And as I introduce him to speak, perhaps I will phrase my question to you in the context of something that the State Department for Trade does, and for where we want some additional support also from MFA. The State Department for Trade manages what is known as the Foreign Commercial and Trade Service. These are the officers that we have been posting out there to basically help us with market development, to help us with product development, and to be able to create the relationships that we need in order for us to be able to improve our exports. One of the key things that we've already decided on and has been agreed to by Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Investment, Trade and Industry is that even for the cadre of the people that are representing us abroad, we shall be posting them on a value chain basis. We shall basically be saying, if we are in the coffee sector, we need to have people out there who are conversant with coffee, who understand coffee production, who understand coffee aggregation, who know how to do coffee tasting, who know how to establish relationships, who knows how coffee exchanges work, and then that is the kind of person that is going to be able to have the capacity to basically implement this. And as a State Department for Trade, we have made a commitment that we are not going to post any more trade attaches who are not going to be posted on the basis of value chains. And this is something that I believe over the next 1 or 2 days we'll be able to refine at this conference so that then we're able to move coherently. And now to your question, Ambassador Matwanga. The conversation on foreign affairs. We have 200 missions abroad. You are in consistent conversations with the people out there who we are calling our markets. We have people coming into Kenya for conferences. We have people engaging us on all manner of things. How does foreign affairs become an instrument for us to advance and market our coffee in a way that gets us 1,000 shillings or more per kilo? What instruments do you have and how are you going to deploy them for the benefit of coffee farmers?
Thank you, PS, and Your Excellency, foreign affairs is a key player in marketing of Kenyan